Hi everyone, this is Sue's Journal Adventures, back at the craft desk for a little while. I don't think I'm actually making anything. I've just come on to show you what I'm going to be making. So I've got two journals in the pipeline. One is very kind of spring-like, but I've just done a spring journal, so I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm having slight difficulties with that, which I will show you in a minute. And I want to show you the other one. So I'm doing a journal, very messy on here. I'm doing a journal that I think I'm going to call it very vintage, because it is going to be very vintage. It is going to be made from vintage newspapers, vintage like booklets, vintage documents, receipts, postcards, photos, everything in it. Basically, I would say 95% of it is going to be made with genuine vintage and antique stuff. So that's one, the very vintage journal. At the moment, I have in my head that I'm making it to sell, but I just know because I love vintage journals with loads of vintage stuff in and proper vintage ephemera. I know I'm going to fall in love with it, but I am going to put it up for sale. I don't generally sell my journals. They're all sat on a shelf behind me, which is really sad. But because of the benefits system in this country, we're not allowed to sell anything. If you make any money, they take it back off you again anyway. So the only reason I'm selling this one is because I do buy a lot of craft products. And I do buy glue and washi tapes and stickers and vintage ephemera and lace and doilies, and you know, we buy loads of stuff, and at some point I need to bring something back in because I just spend like a crazy person on craft stuff, and I really don't need it. This space is so full, it's getting a bit too full. So I'm going to show you what I'm using for my journal to give you an idea of how authentically vintage I intend it to be. So obviously I'm going to use old book pages. I'm going to be using old book pages, but for the majority, well, not the majority, some of my pages are going to be made from this very, very old newspaper. Book pages, really old ones, really browny ones, like this. Obviously it's a bit fragile to use on its own. I could not, definitely not, fold that in half and sew that in and use it as a page. There is no chance. So all of these are going to have to be backed onto card, thin 135 GSM card. So I'm in a bit of a stuck position at the minute. I'm stuck with the other journal because I don't know what to do with the cover because it's giving me grief, and I'm stuck with this because I currently have no 135 GSM card in the house. I don't have any, so I need to get a few packets of that and coffee dye and then back these onto it. I could have them like that as a page on coffee dyed paper. Personally, I prefer the right way, so I'm probably gonna coffee dye some card and glue these on. But this is a newspaper, I don't know if you can see that or if it's blurry, from 1882. It was massive, so I've just literally torn it into quarters, and these are going to be the basis for a lot of my pages. Not all of my pages, because some are going to be book pages, some are going to be genuine vintage documents, you know, the handwritten script documents. The receipts, I don't have a massive amount of receipts, but I think the receipts I'd rather have as things to put in pockets. But it is going to pretty much be, apart from a few flower stickers, maybe some washi tape, lace, doilies. Well, even the lace and doilies are old, but it's pretty much, I'd say 95% going to be original old stuff. So what I've been doing this morning is gathering this newspaper, because this is going to be, like I say, for my pages and maybe for, you know, bases for some tags. But I've been cutting out stuff from another magazine that was actually from, there's a bit of my newspaper there. You see, it just cracks when you fold it. So there's no way I could sew that in as a page. So I'm probably just gonna, yeah, back it onto some card. There was another piece somewhere. There it is. So that's my newspaper. And then I've got another book that is also from, oh, I need some new glasses. February 1925. This is a booklet for children. But it's got loads of adverts in it. And I love these. Wouldn't that just make a big, lovely writing board? Or obviously I'm going to decorate them. And that's where I'm going to get creative with different stuff. But I have been cutting out this morning loads of adverts. I mean, we print these out. We go on Etsy and buy kits of printed ephemera. I'm just going to use the real stuff because I've got it, so why not use it? So all of these advertisements and stuff, these, I may not use all of that, I might just use the picture. These smaller ones are definitely going to be tags, pockets, little bits of ephemera for tiny pockets like these ones. So I've cut all these out of these magazines this morning. Look at that one. 1927 clothing. So all these are going in. Well, they might not all go in, depends what fits. But I've been cutting up lots of little things, little adverts, because why use fake ones when I can use real ones? So these are all little things I've been cutting up. Here I can see like maybe a bookmark with those numbers. That's interesting, isn't it? A 3-week cruise to Lisbon, Madeira and the Canary Islands for 30 guineas. Wow, wish I could go on that right now. So yeah, I've got these little Ovaltine ads. With these, I'm thinking I might just get some thick cardboard, like that off the back of a notepad or something. Cut them into squares round the corners. Thick chunky card I want these sticking on. And then I might just stick a tiny little pressed flower and then resin them. And have them as little, I don't know, dangly things, I guess, or like little tiles I can stick in the journal. Look at these, so cool. 2 bargains. You can get a motorcycle for £28. Wow. 28 quid, it costs you that for petrol just to put half a tank in these days. So I've got all these little adverts. And now I love buying these labels from Shein and Temu and stuff. I've just actually bought a new packet of them, which my granddaughter were eyeballing the other day. She's like, well, I like these, Nana Sue. I'm like, oh yeah, put them back in the drawer. Put them back. Bless her. I did give her some, I'm not that cruel. But I've got real ones here, real adverts out of this book from 1927. So I'm going to use them for little tags and things. I've got loads of old adverts. I think you get the gist. I don't need to go through every page. I've got music paper. This paper, oh, this is fantastic. This is the Young Ladies Journal, which the pages, other pages I've torn out. But it's the most awesome paper. I don't know what it is, but it feels very cool. So this, excuse me, this is also going to be used for tags and stuff. And then I've got all these. And these, and these, and these, and these, and this. So this journal, I do believe the very vintage journal will be journal 26. So I'm going to cut my 26 out. I'm going to probably use this picture somewhere, somehow. I've got the rest of the magazine there, just for other stuff I might cut out, because there's still some adverts in there. I found this in the middle pages of that ladies' journal. Look at that. Embroidery. I all sorts of cool things on there. So they will be getting used somehow. That's the front cover of the Young Ladies Journal. I love this paper. I don't know what type of paper it is, but it's awesome. So yeah, I'm probably going to use that and this. Some more music there. They're really cool, these magazines. They have like music in, stories, adverts, obviously. Some more adverts there. And this, I got this ages ago from a guy on eBay, I want to say. Did this come from eBay or did this come from Facebook Market? I think I don't know where it came from, and I don't even know what kind of book it is. It's a book about places, because we've got Hebrides, the Isle of Scilly, but I don't know if it's been sliced out of a book. I'm assuming it has, but the paper is like nothing I've ever felt. It's amazing. So that's going to be used in tags and book. I think I could get away with folding that one. It's quite, although it's very old, yeah, that one's quite sturdy. So that could actually be pages. Ooh, cool. I'm so excited about this journal. I've got an old advert here from the Royal Shropshire Shrewsbury Theatre. That is an actual advert from the theatre from, I don't know if you can see, 1855. So that's going to be going in as a page. I have to rub off, I wrote real vintage stuff on. But that is all going to make up pages, tags, pockets, So that's what that is, that's coming up. Just to give you a little taster of what's coming. The other journal, where's the other journal? I think it's behind me. Yes, it is. I've just found another old newspaper over there. So a while ago, I went to a charity shop, and you may have remembered me buying this cushion cover. I just fell in love with the embroidery on it, and this is how it was. It fastened, you put your cushion in there and it fastened. So my original idea, I need to take you up a bit, is my granddaughter's been messing with this, it's very floppy, was just to use it as a journal cover and a long tall journal. But then I thought, well, there's no fold over, there's nothing to fold over and glue down, so I decided to dismantle it and take its pieces. I don't know what I might keep that for something. The problem I'm having is a big problem. So it's now going to be pretty much not quite an A5 journal. That's about A5. So it's, yeah, it's not quite. It was going to be a tall journal because of the tallness, but I took the top off, the button bit. So now I'm left with this, which has got to go on the cover, which is great. All well and good. But it ain't. Because how do I do it? So I've got a spine that I need to attach to the book. That's the front cover, obviously. I've got a spine I need to cover the back and attach the spine to, well, you know what I've got to do. What I'm trying to say is this is my problem, because I adore this beautiful piece of embroidery that's done with ribbons. Do I cover the front cover with the whole thing? Which is what I'm thinking I might do. But then how the heck am I going to attach the spine and the other side? I'd have to do it on this side, wouldn't I? So I can put a piece of fabric around. Because the only other option is to cut this so that I can fit it round that and glue the edges down. Now my worry is if I cut that, all these bits of embroidery might start coming apart. So I've given myself a bit of a task here, but I absolutely adore this and I really want it to be a journal. So I'm kind of thinking that it might have to go like that, attached to the spine somehow. and then it's already decorated inside, because I really can't cut that in half, can I? It's going to come apart. So yeah, that's the joyful, and this is like really thick. It's like a massive thick book cover or something, but I had it and I thought, well, it just kind of fits this piece of fabric. So I've chopped that to size, but I need to cover it. So the back can be green, that's not a problem. Is there enough of the green to cover the spine and attach them together? I'll have to use that, I guess. Oh my, I'm just even thinking now, is there going to be enough fabric? Oh gosh, that's a bit scary. So yeah, this is my dilemma at the moment. I really don't want to cut this, but I'm not sure how to make it and put it all together. I've given myself a headache. So, watch this space, guys. So as you can see, it's very spring-like. So I kind of thought, oh, I'll do a spring journal. But I've just done a spring journal. So I'm not quite sure. I've got a few ideas on the inner pages of this one. But I'm in limbo because I have no 135 GSM card. And I do want to print a few pretty papers out, which I don't like my paper printing on paper, on copy paper, because I think it's too thin, especially if you're adding pockets and stuff. I kind of like to print any printed pages I may use on the 135 GSM, because it's not too thick, but it's a bit more substantial than copy paper. So help. What do I do with this? Oh, it'll come together, it will come together, but I kind of want it to be nice because I've only got one shot with this beautiful embroidery. So yeah, it's a little bit scary and daunting. It's absolutely boiling here today in Leeds. I'm sweating as I sit here. Healing well from my operation, moving about a bit easier, don't feel quite as sore inside now. I've finished my tablets, thank goodness, because whew, that were a bit of a killer, because I had to take them at 6 AM in the morning, 8 AM in the morning, 3 PM in the afternoon, 8 PM at evening, and 11 PM at night. So if you're up at 6 and then your last tablet's at 11, I'm having to set alarms to wake up and take medication. But I finished them yesterday, so yay, I can sort of kind of hopefully get back to some normal type of sleep pattern now. I've got some hospital appointments, not next week, the week after, so hopefully next week I can get a bit of crafting done. And ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? Lemon embossed card. That kind of go with my little pages. Oh, I've got, oh look, I have pretty aqua colours and pinks. Oh, it's a bit dodgy. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know what to do with this. I'm struggling a bit. I might have to iron this because obviously it's been sewn as a cushion cover and I need it to be flat so as I can glue it down. And I don't do ironing. What the heck's ironing? But I'm going to have to, I think, just to get it straight so I can glue it and it's not bulky. But it's just so pretty, but I just can't cut it, can I? Without potentially ruining it, and I don't want to ruin it. I could make a bigger square journal, ring bound, but yeah, I don't want to do that with papers and card and cutting everything to size. I want an easy life, and it's just not going to be easy, this one, but hey, we'll go for it. We will do it and we will achieve what we want to achieve, hopefully. I'm going to have to probably take that bit off. So yeah, there we go. That's what I'm up to, sort of. I'm just sorting for the Very Vintage journal at the moment because obviously I've got old... I can't show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. What else is potentially going in the Very Vintage journal? I got a lot of stuff. I think it's going to be chunky. Some more old newspaper there. we've got stuff printed. That's all packaging paper. That's some coffee dyed paper that I think I've just put on there because I don't know where to put it. More magazines, some printed stuff. Where are you? Even really old book pages, music paper. Ah, there we go, right at the bottom. So we've got loads of these old vintage ledgers, proper vintage ledgers. I do believe this one is from 1927. So we've got ledger papers, several of them, lots of them actually. Big ledger papers. We've got these things. Don't even know what these are, but they're all handwritten. Some are typed. They are a railway bill from 1904. Letters, whoopsie. Old vintage letters from 1939. This one is from, I have no clue, it hasn't got a date on it, but look at that writing. And then there's this letter, and there's going to be more. There's going to be more. I haven't got it all out yet. So lots of vintage stuff. Oh, it's going to be a vintage journal. Of course it's going to have vintage stuff. My eyes look really blurry. I don't know if my glasses need a wipe. But yes, so I'm not making anything particularly on this, but just accruing ideas of little things that I want to make. I've got loads of ideas actually, and I can't wait to get started, but I need some card. I'm on a roadblock at the minute. I'm like, I need some card so I can get the card coffee dyed and make a start. You would think as a crafter I would have loads of coffee dyed card. No, I have loads of coffee dyed paper, but I don't want paper. I want card. I suppose actually for some of the time I could use paper, because if I'm backing things onto it, then that's going to strengthen it anyway, isn't it? I mean, I want paper in there, but I also want card for stability. And I need to print some beautiful printed papers off, just for touches here and there. So yeah, it's going to be very vintage. The other one, I don't really know what the other one's going to be. I've had spring garden, I've had midnight garden. It could be a country cottage garden, couldn't it? Who knows? Who knows what the heck it's going to be, but I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty when it gets going. So yeah, I just thought I'd come on and tell you what I'm doing and update you a little bit. And yeah, it's going to be all old. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I'm itching to go out. I nearly phoned my friend today and asked her if she'd take me to the works to get some card, but I think no, just take it easy, Sue. Take it easy. I will be going out on Thursday morning, so I need to just, you know, amp up the rest now. I'm not having to wake up every stupid hour to take tablets. So yeah, I've finished the course of tablets. Do you know, something really strange has happened to me. I don't know if it's to do with the tablets, but I have a sense of smell again. And so basically for years I have allergies, as you know if you watch me regularly, and I don't really have a very good sense of smell. My smell comes and goes several times throughout the day. So I can walk in a supermarket and smell the bread baking and go, oh, doesn't that smell lovely? 3 aisles down on the deodorant aisle, I'm looking for a deodorant, I'll literally have it touching my nose and I can't smell it. So my sense of smell comes and goes, my sense of taste comes and goes, but I got in I guess at this point I hadn't really realised that my sense of smell was back, but in the taxi on the way home, oh my days, I am surprised I did not throw up in that man's taxi, because there was an overwhelming smell of BO mixed with deodorant to make it smell better, which it really didn't, and like a really strong, sweet, sickly incense. And I drove the whole entire way home with my window open, facing the window, because I even slightly turned towards him. I could smell BO. and this sickly, incensey. Oh, it was disgusting. That was the longest 8-mile drive of my life. But yeah, I've noticed now that I can smell things again, which is bizarre. It's very new for me. See, I just thought it was a family thing and I took after my dad because my dad had no sense of smell. But when I got home on Thursday, my son came upstairs. He said, do you want anything to eat, Mum? I said, just make me some soup. I'll have the leek and potato soup. So as he was coming up the stairs, I just went, oh, that smells nice. And then, you know, you have that moment like, hang on a minute, I can actually smell that part way down the staircase. So I'm kind of enjoying my newfound sense of smell, and it's highlighted my taste a little bit. But yeah, some of it's not that cracking, is it really? But yeah, so I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it were those tablets that I was on that have cleared everything. I've not had the hay fever. I've not had a blocked nose since. And I'm just like, wow, they were pretty cool. So there you go. That's Sue's Journal adventure for the last few days. I've just been resting, sleeping, but I'm going to be back at it. My granddaughter's been at my desk, so there's like bits all over the place, and yeah, I don't know what she's been doing, but stuff in where it's supposed to be. But I'm all ready to go, apart from the fact I need some card. So I particularly need the 135 GSM card. I've got the 210 GSM, but that's too thick for pages. I like that for tags and stuff. I suppose I could make some tags out of those newspaper cuttings, and I think I have some brown craft tags somewhere, so I might make a start on them. And hopefully I'll see you soon where I'm actually doing something, because I've got several things that I want to make. It's just getting everything out to make them. I don't want to overdo it. Not supposed to lift and carry stuff at the minute, but you know, as women, it's like, seriously, can we actually sit and not do anything? It's pretty much impossible, isn't it? And I was telling my daughter off, because a few days after she'd had her up, she's like, oh, I'm doing this and I've just done that. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. You should not be doing that. The doctor told you to rest, and don't forget you cut inside, and it might look all right outside, but it's healing inside. And I'm telling her off, and then I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, oh dear me. Anyway, I am behaving and I am resting to a point. No, I have been resting. So hopefully I shall be back soon. Maybe even tomorrow, to do something, to make something with you, because at the minute I haven't quite got the oomph, because I need stuff, and it's like I need stuff and I haven't got it. My friend has said she's going to give me a sewing machine, actually. Instead of me buying another cheaper one, she said, oh, don't buy another one, I'll give you mine. And I'm like, what, really? So I need to get on to her to bring a sewing machine round. Mind you, I then need to learn how to use it, because I'm not very good with that sort of thing, but hopefully I might be able to sew some of this journal, because I really would like to sew things. So yeah, watch this space. I'm around in the background, don't forget about me. And I'll be back with you soon. Bye.